Okay. Yeah, I can see the video.
Okay. With minimal efforts, you can turn banana.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah.
you were able to hear it.
Yes.
And can I get recording rights for this video, for this meeting? With minimal efforts, you can turn banana. You were able to. Okay, you were able to hear it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
can I get rights? Hello. Can I get recording rights for this, Cinda Didi, for the meeting?
Chetana, since you are the co-host, I think you will have it, the recording right, as well as I have sent you the YouTube link also.
Okay. Okay.
It would be fine, no, with the YouTube link. That's a recorded thing.
Now, the screen sharing is disabled for me.
Oh, why is it so? Let me see.
Because I rejoined. That's why.
Okay. I'll make you once again. I'll make you the co-host then.
Yes, please. I still do not have the recording rights. It doesn't let me do it. It says, please ask the host to give you permission to record.
I have made you the co-host. So see whether you have the recording rights.
Okay, I'll first try sharing the screen. It's happening now, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And yes, and I can record that now.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay.
Cool. And I think we'll have to request everybody to mute themselves once we start.
To the club presidents who have joined here, I have shared the YouTube link also. Can you please share it with your club members? I have shared it both in the Galaxy as well as the greetings group. And Chetana, I have shared the YouTube link to you also. If you want to share it with District 307, I have shared it to Winnie also, but I don't think she has seen it.
Thank you, Cinda Didi. I'll share it wherever I can. I am just doing that.
Yeah, that's fine. Hi, Anita.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It would be nice if you can turn on your videos so that we can see each other. I will enjoy the session more. Millie Didi, I think we'll wait till 6:05 for everybody to
it's
join.
Not yet 6. We'll wait for 5 more minutes.
Perfect. Perfect.
Anita, I have made you also the co-host so that if necessary, you can mute people.
Hello, Ritanji.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Dibi.
Hi. चेतना आ गई है.
Cinda Jojy, I just called up Winnie auntie and she says that she was trying to join from the previous link. So there is this confusion. So we have to wait for a little while. Everybody has to join from the latest link that you sent.
Hello. Hello. Do you want us to keep pen and paper ready, or no need?
Yes, it would be nice.
Yes.
If you are very interested, I think I will share some information. It
Yeah.
would be nice if you keep your pen and paper with you.
Yes, 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 definitely.
इनको बटन लगा. नीचे स्टार्ट वीडियो लिखे होते तो स्टार्ट.
Hello, Winnie auntie. I can see you on. Yes, please turn on your video. We love to see you.
Hi Chetna.
Hello, Mummy.
Hi.
Namaste ji. Hi. Yes, now we see you.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Hi, Cinda.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, Netaji. Where are you?
Hanji, how are you? Great. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Dolly auntie. I see you. I see. Mama, I see you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Netaji.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Okay, Anita.
Evening. Hanji, Babli Didi.
Hello. कैसे हो?
ठीक.
Hi, Cinda.
Hello. कैसे हो?
I'm good, Cinda. How are you?
Good.
एक काम और करना, चाय पीते जो चार्जर लिया देना मैंने. हांजी, चार्जर लिया देना मेरा ऊपर में चलाया इकट्ठे कर लांगी बैठ के कोई उन्नत है मेरे कॉलेज में.
Please mute yourself, everybody. After you've talked, mute. There's a mic. Mute yourself. We can hear your conversations. Hello, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you for joining in. Hello, Papa. I don't see your video, but we will wait for another 2-3 minutes, Milady, if you have people joining in, because there's this confusion with the previous link and the new link.
Yes, I think so.
So we have to, I don't know what
again
can be
posting this.
It's so nice to see the members from 307 joining in.
Yeah. From 3212. Lovely to see you all.
I am from 314.
Oh yes, Gitanjali, welcome.
Hi,
नाम
everyone. Hi,
नाम आ
Cinda.
रहा नाम आ रहा है
फोटो में आगे बात की थी फोटो में नहीं थी
क्या ऑडियो आ नहीं रहा?
कत्ती नंबर ये है
Yes, 33 is just the number.
तो सब खाली गई
So it's 6:05. Shall we start the meeting?
Yes, I think we should. Chetna,
Yeah.
what do you say?
Yeah. So Anita,
Let's go ahead.
that's our district secretary Anita as the MC today. And for those in District 307, I am Mrs. Cinda Jojy, the district chairman of District 321. And for the members of District 321, that's Winnie, officially Winnie
Guninder.
Kaur, the district chairman
Guninder
of
Kaur,
District
yes.
307. Yeah, Anita, let's start.
I'll request everybody to mute themselves, please. First, mute yourself so that the person who has to speak will be able to speak clearly and be heard.
I have muted everybody. So those who have to speak can unmute yourself and continue. Anita, please unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I am Sandhya Rani Misra, District Secretary from District 326.
Hi, Sandhya Rani.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, Cinda. Good evening. Good evening to everybody.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I'm District Chairman elect from 307.
Hello, good to have you here.
Yeah,
Good evening, ma'am. Welcome.
thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Sundar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anita? Anita?
Hello. Good
Yeah,
evening.
Anita, we can
you
hear
hear?
you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Cinda, can you hear?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll start. Okay. So we are going to start the inter-district virtual session on compost what you can by District 321 and inter-district Innerville District 307. Let me call upon Mrs. Gibby Biju to say the Innerville prayer. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Could you hear?
Yes, yes. GB, please say the prayer.
GB, you need to unmute yourself. You're muted. Touch the
Good
mic
evening.
at the bottom.
Could you hear? Okay. Instill in us, O Lord, the true meaning of friendship. Never let us forget that we are thy children. Notwithstanding the differences in our cultures and creeds, endow us with the desire to serve our fellow men, remembering that we too often need help. Whenever and wherever the need for service arises, help us to be ready to serve, endeavoring to make our badge of inner wheel worthwhile, ensuring that we have not lived in vain. Thank you.
Welcome and purpose of meeting will be rendered by our district chairman, Cinda Jojy.
A pleasant good evening to one and all, my dear dignitaries, Innerville dignitaries from District 307 and District 321, and my dear Innerville members of both the district. Today, we are really happy to have a joint meeting of District 307 and District 321. I'm so glad to see many of you here interested to know a little more about composting, which is a major step in earth care. A cordial welcome to the guest speaker, Chetna Balla, to this inter-district awareness session. And thank you so much, Chetna, for being here to explain and share some very useful points and tips about composting. To say a word about Chetna, she can be literally labeled as the daughter of District 307 and daughter-in-law of District 321. Those of you who don't know about this, about what I am saying, her mom is the past district chairman, Anita Bella from District 307, and her mother-in-law, Rita Mehta, is a past president of Innovate Club of Pathanamthitta, District 321. And I can see two proud moms here waiting eagerly for their daughter to start. Thank you, dear Chetna, for being here, and a special welcome to PDC Anita Bella and past president Rita Mehta to this session. A warm welcome and thank you, District Chairman Gunita, my dear friend Winnie of Innerville District 307 for joining us today and agreeing for this joint session. A cordial welcome to the district EC members of both the district. You are the backbones. The functioning of the district depends so much on your activities, and I'm so happy that all of you are here. Your presence motivates the members a lot. The galaxy of past district chairmen from District 307 and 321. You are the backbone of the district who have done your share in spreading the wings of Innerville strong and wide. We welcome you all to this gathering, and I'm so happy to see many PDCs gathered here. Also like to extend my welcome to the club office bearers and all the Innerville members and other guests from other districts. We have a few other dignitaries from other districts also gathered here, and I'm so happy to see you all, and I welcome you all to this little session about composting. This year, as you all know, at the association level and at the district level also, we have given much importance to earth care. And here in District 321, one of our district, as our district goals also, we have given much importance to kitchen gardening and composting. And we already had several sessions on kitchen gardening, and it was really a matter of great pride and joy for me to notice that when I came for the COV, that almost all the members had started their own kitchen garden. And they were telling me, sharing with me about how good it was to get the produce from their own kitchen garden. And now we are going to learn a little more about composting too. Though International Compost Awareness Week, ICAW, falls on the first week of May, I thought we should have this session a little earlier so that by May, all of you would have started your composting units. How many of you know that we even have an International Compost Awareness Day, and it falls on May 29th? which is my birthday. So I won't be forgetting that from now on at least. A myth that people have about composting is that you need a big yard for this, which is not actually true. Even in your balcony, you can start. So being in a flat or not having a backyard is not an excuse not to start this. With a big drum or a terracotta pot, you can start your composting. Now, by starting a composting unit, even if it's a small one, you can manage your organic waste and generate organic fertilizers for your kitchen garden, which is going to take you one step ahead in gardening as well. Composting, as you all know, is the natural process of recycling organic matter such as leaves or food scraps, the food waste generated in our kitchen, or the rotten veggies into a valuable fertilizer that can enrich our soil, which helps in better growth of plants. Composting also has a range of environmental benefits other than improving the soil health, like reducing greenhouse gas emission, recycling nutrients, and mitigating the impacts of droughts as well. Interesting, isn't it? So let's hear from Chetna and get started. Members, please feel free to communicate and benefit from our resource person. Have a fruitful evening and happy gardening to all you, my lovely ladies. God bless us all and thank you.
Thank you, District Chairman Cinda Jojy. Now, I will Guninder Ka, Chairman, District Chairman, 307.
My dear friend and batchmate Cinda Jojy, District Chairman, Innerville District 321, Host Club President Dr. Millie, Secretary Mrs. Gibby, and worthy past District Chairman from both the districts 321 and 307 present here, and lovely Innerville friends from both the districts and guests from other districts, other members from other districts. Very pleasant good evening to you all. Dear friend Cinda, I extend my gratitude to you for making District 307 joint partner for this virtual session on the fruitful topic, compost what you can, which is the first step towards zero garbage. And that is the project very close to my heart. And I continuously motivating the members to do effort at their homes to segregate the garbage, plastic, e-garbage, and kitchen waste. I extend hearty welcome to the speaker of today's session, our loving Bitya Chetna, related to both the districts, daughter of 307 and daughter-in-law of 321. I'm sure all of you will be having very good tips on composting from her. So I won't take much time. Cinda has told so much. So welcome to you all. And I hand over to you, Cinda, for further proceedings.
Thank you, dear.
Anita, you
Thank
all the very best
you.
to you.
Thank you, District Chairman Guninder Ka. Now, our own member, Dr. Millie Chemmanam, will give an introduction about our chief guest, Chetna Bala.
Millie Didi,
Please unmute yourself. Millie is the president of Innovative of Patalam Cinda.
Hello. Thank you, Anita. Hope you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as you'll see in a few minutes, Chetna is a very fun-loving, nature-loving, and a very bubbly personality, and a very good friend too. As you have heard already, she is the daughter-in-law of our past president, Mrs. Rita Mehta, and the daughter of the past district chairman of District 307, Mrs. Anita Bella. Now, she did her honors in social sciences and is an MBA gold medalist in human resources and international business. She is an alumnus of Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, and BJIM, Hyderabad. She is the founder of Get My Harvest, which is a YouTube channel and a gardening website. She is also the co-founder of mytechmantra.com, a favorite website in the tech world, along with her husband, Ashish. Get My Harvest YouTube channel features Chetna and her 8-year-old son, Vihan, sharing gardening tips and for garden lovers. And she's very passionate about the idea of living close to nature. She wants to create a brigade of green ambassadors who are future ready and understand the importance of growing and cooking fresh produce. She believes that by sharing ideas, one can make this world a better place. Now over to you, Chetna. All the best.
Thank you, Dr. Millie. Now the awaited moment has come to listen to Chetna Bala. Over to Chetna Bala.
Thank you, Anita Natarajan. Thank you, Millie Didi. Special thanks to Cinda Jojy, District Chairman, Innerwheel District 321, and Mrs. Guninder Kaur, District Chairman, Innerwheel District 307. Both of you have been very patient and with me and listening to my ideas, and thank you for giving me this opportunity where I can share my experiences and knowledge. And Dr. Millie, President Innerwheel Club Patnam Thitta, I know how much I have troubled you. And thank you for joining GBDD as well. A big thank you to all the office bearers and club members, whoever has taken out time to join. I am truly grateful. It's a big day for me because both my mothers are here. And gratitude is when memory is stored in the heart and not in the mind. So today will be stored in my heart and not in my mind. Today's memory. And I would begin by talking to District 321 first. Enduke undu vishesham. Kya aap sab theek hain? How are you all? I know we are again dealing with a milder version of the pandemic, the virus, and my sincere prayers and good wishes for everyone's good health. You will be fine soon. Can you all see me and hear me? If you can, show me a thumbs up. Are we together?
Yeah.
Cool. Please keep yourself muted, and whenever I ask you something, you can unmute yourself that time. I have to ask you something. Is this peel a waste? No. Waste? Do you think that's a waste?
No, actually.
No, it's not. Waste is anything unproductive, unused, or underutilized. But waste, do you know, is a human invention. We have invented waste. We are the only creatures on earth who do not have a zero waste existence. Everything else that is living has a zero waste existence. Can this humble peel serve a greater purpose? Come on, after all, a lot of time and effort has been spent on nurturing the orange tree. Yes, it can. Thank you, Dhanalakshmi. It can. This orange peel can reverse climate change. But most likely it won't. Do you know why?
Why?
Because we are going to throw it in the bin.
Yes.
And this is going to land in the landfill. It will rot in the landfill, then it will release methane. Methane is 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. Not just this peel, but grass, leaves, everything else that has been designed by nature to go into the ground is actually being shipped to the landfills, which is sad because the nature wants it back and not in the landfill. And this is how this loop of life is being disturbed by us. You know, there can be no life without soil, and soil without life is just dust. This peel has superpowers. It can enhance food nutrition, increase crop yield, strengthen the immune system of plants. And better plants means better health for us as human beings. More plants means also the carbon from the atmosphere is going to be captured and we are going to reverse climate change. Health begins in the soil. Soil in Malayalam is man, right? Yes. And in Punjabi, it is mitti. So health begins in soil. And that is why today's topic is about on composting or compost what you can. I'll just do my screen sharing now and And this is for the information of everyone. I have shared the links for my page and the YouTube channel in the chat, because I could see that some people wanted recordings. So you can contact me from there. I'll just start the screen sharing. Millie Didi, you have to tell me if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen. Yes, we can.
Cool, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that's the invite for today. And thank you everybody again. What is composting? Composting is the process where organic materials like food waste, plant materials, etc., is naturally broken down by fungus and bacteria. It's an aerobic process. I'm sure people who are into science would know that aerobic process is the one in which no greenhouse gases are released. So in other words, composting is recycling organic materials that are usually considered waste. If you take a look at this picture here, and this rabbit could be a human being as well. When we eat an apple, we use energy from the apple. The leftover apple decomposes and goes back to the soil, because this leftover apple also has loads of energy and nutrients left in it. It is this soil that is filled with these nutrients that go back to the apple tree from its roots. And then again, this is the cycle of life. Now, what is happening is that we somehow lost it. We forgot that we are responsible for completing the cycle of life. And we started throwing our waste in the bin and then started letting it getting rot in the landfills. And compost is an essential microbial source. It's a probiotic. Probiotic, for instance, we eat yogurt, curd. Compost is like that for the soil. It's not just a fertilizer. It's much more than that. Now, you might ask me why compost. So I would like to convince you first on this before I show you something and then we talk more about it. The first reason why you should compost is that it reduces landfill waste and greenhouse gas emissions. It is these greenhouse gas emissions that are leading to the climate change. This is why Kerala has had such bad rains. This is why Punjab is experiencing heavy rains in January, which never used to happen. So extreme weather events are happening because of this. 7.5 tons of food is discarded every day. And do you know 60% of our household waste, the waste in our homes, is wet waste? That is the waste that we can put for composting. Secondly, it saves money. You don't have to invest in artificial manures or fertilizers if you have homemade compost. You do not, if you have a garden, a terrace garden, a balcony garden, usually the gardener would ask you to buy some kind of a manure or fertilizer. You don't need that when you have your own compost. And people assume that the vegetable scraps and the kitchen scraps, once you throw them in the waste, they will decompose on their own and they will become manure. But that is not true. The waste that we throw away goes to the landfill. And like I said, it leads to the release of methane. And methane, once emitted from decomposing food, stays in our atmosphere for 20 years. 20 years. So that those effects you cannot undo. The third reason is that it enriches soil. Compost makes sure that the essential nutrients go back to the soil. Your soil needs less watering. My father-in-law is here as well, and he tells me very often that during peak summers in Kerala, the plants need so much watering. It's very hard for him to ensure that all the plants survive. If your soil has enough compost in it, you will need lesser watering. The soil stays healthy on its own. It retains moisture. It helps in getting higher yields. The same tree, the same plant will give you more fruits and vegetables. I have experienced that personally, and you've got to experience that as well if you haven't. Then it makes you liberated and you feel less guilty. You know, there's something called eco-anxiety. Eco-anxiety is that all of us start feeling guilty of the damage that we are doing to the environment in some way or the other. So we are thinking of ways in which we can reduce that damage. Composting will help you do that. If you are a homemaker and you want to do something for the environment, please start composting. You can have complete control over that thing. You will own it, your compost bins, and you will get a lot of satisfaction. It's also a form of therapy. I have personally experienced it. You feel very nice when you're able to achieve a compost at the end of the cycle. And it's like if I have a small kid at home, and there are times when he has leftover food in his plate. So the leftover curries, the rice, the all kinds of vegetables or salad, anything can go into it instead of that going to the bin. And every home, I'm sure there are meals that go waste. So I'm going to burst those myths as well, that you cannot add cooked food to the compost. You can. I have been doing that. Let's move to, and this picture here. You know, this picture is a testimony to the fact that if you do not use chemicals and fertilizer, those harsh chemicals in your garden, the nature will be happier. The butterfly is sitting on my cheek. It's a real butterfly because there are no chemicals being used in my garden. I do not use any kinds of pesticides or sprays. So it's all so natural. There's just homemade compost for the lemon tree and all other plants that I have. I have loads of butterflies, birds, bees in the season because they are so happy. They do not get repelled by those chemicals there. Okay, let's talk about some myths about composting. Cinda had burst some myths earlier. I'm going to add on to those. She talked about that the fact that many people think that composting cannot be done in a small space. If you have a window, you can compost. That's my answer to you. You can start composting in apartments, in offices, in schools, hospitals, anywhere. You do not need a lot of space for composting. Compost smells bad. That's the second myth. No, compost smells like forest floor. बहुत सुंदर जो मिट्टी की खुशबू होती है ना, that is the kind of smell you get from compost if you've done it right. And it has superpowers, like I told you. Composting requires expensive equipment. No, that's a myth again. You can use old dustbins, pots, garden containers, buckets, paint buckets, anything for composting. It does not require expensive equipment. Composting is too complicated? No. Composting is like cooking. It's like, it's just a balance of different ingredients that you have to get it right. It's like, for instance, in cooking, you taste and you see, okay, this needs a little bit of salt, or this needs more spice, or I need to add water. In your compost bin, you feel and you see. So when you're, this is for all the participants. If you have questions, I will love to take your questions, feedback, comments towards the end of the session. So just note them down for me. So you have to touch your compost and see the compost when it is being done. If you feel it is too wet, add the brown elements. If you feel it is too dry, you need to add moisture. It's just like cooking. There's no difference. Composting is all about dumping waste. No, it is not. Now that is, I come across a lot of people who say that they had collected the waste in a drum and they thought some magic will happen and it will turn into compost, but it turned into something smelly and bad. It will turn into something smelly and bad. Okay, what can I add to the compost? Can I will just stop the screen sharing now and I'll share a video with you because it is dark right now and those drums were big. I couldn't get those drums for you and I couldn't take the camera out as well. So I'll share a video where you can see where I have kept my compost drums and what am I adding to it. And then we'll come back to this slide. Milady, you'll have to help me and let me know if I am able to do it. Are you able to hear?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Cool, cool. So let's begin. Let's watch this first and then we'll move forward. With minimal efforts, you can turn banana peels, cucumber peels, onion peels, apple cores, and a lot more into gold. I am Chetna Bhalla from Get My Harvest, and I'm here to share my composting journey with all of you. I began composting 2 years ago because that's when I started gardening more seriously as well. And I was not very happy with the options that were available in the market for fertilizing my plants naturally. Also, looking at the size of my garden and the requirements in the balcony, on the terrace, it was also costing me a lot. That's when I started digging deeper. And on digging deeper, I found how mismanaged landfills were a big problem. I usually keep a plate or a bowl for collecting the peels or leftover food. I keep that on the kitchen counter near the sink, and the family keeps filling it throughout the day. Then I collect all of the waste for 2 to 3 days in a box with a lid and add it to my compost bin, just the way I'm showing it here. I luckily have compost at 3 stages. This one here is stage 1. The process has not begun. I'm just layering and ensuring that the ratio of browns is to greens stays at 1:1. In goes some microbial coco peat from daily dump. This one actually increases the pace of composting. This here is stage 2. It still has bigger bits that need to be broken down. I'm just giving it a turn. And then finally, I have another bin. This one is almost ready. You can see that it's ready. I'm keeping the composters in one of my balconies. Believe me, your compost cannot smell bad if you're ensuring that you're not dumping the waste, but layering it properly. The compost is used for gardening and also for making newer batches of fresh compost. Composting is the right thing to do for our planet. When are you starting? Okay, cool. So you can see me now, right?
Lovely,
Yes,
ma.
yes.
Lovely, got done.
Yes,
It's
yes.
very,
So
very
you
nice.
saw the, okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad it was clear and everybody could see it. You could see the bins that I'm using. They are all recycled bins. I took them, in fact, my husband got them for me from the paint shops. So, and then we've done holes in them. I'll talk about that procedure now. So you do not need to buy anything special for that. I'll just start my screen sharing again. Visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, there are some things that you can add to the compost. These are the things that you can add. You can add leaves, grass clippings, fruits. They can also be moldy fruits, fruits that have fungal growth on them. You can add them. Vegetable peels, cereal, coffee ground, tea leaves, tea bags. There are these non-plastic ones, or sometimes the tea bag has a tag to it. You have to remove that tag because that is plastic. You can also add paper egg cartons. How do you add them? Shred them with a knife or with your hands. Paper towels, the kitchen towels, the paper towels that we use in our kitchen, they can go to the compost. Flowers, even after your puja, if you are very specific about it, that your puja flowers shouldn't go with the compost bin that has eggshells in it, make a separate flower and leaf composter bin for that. That all your puja flowers or all your sacred things can go there. Vacuum lint, after you've done the vacuum cleaning, the lint from your vacuum cleaner can go there. Shredded brown paper bags can go. The Amazon cartons can go after shredding into that. That is the thing that I usually tell my son to do when he is very free. I tell him to start shredding that for the compost bin. You cannot add plastic in any form. You cannot add loads of fats or oils in it. If you're cooking, for instance, cooked food does not have a lot of oil in it. You can add it, but you cannot add a wok full of oil into your compost. Metals have to be left out. They would not decompose. And you also cannot add any kind of glass. That I wanted to write glass there. Please excuse me. Then what are the steps? The first step is that you need to identify a spot for your compost. You have to think about it very practically. If you are passionate about it, you are the one who's going to take, whether you are the lady of the house or the man of the house, or you are the young boy or the young girl there. So see where you want to keep it so that it's more accessible for you. At the backside of your kitchen, there are people keeping it in the kitchen, near their balcony, terrace, backyard. I am keeping it in one of my balconies, like how I showed you in the video. You have to start segregating the waste. That's step number 2. Waste को अलग करना शुरू करना है. Dry or wet waste or plastic waste, separate. You will realize that the waste that you give to the waste collector or to the municipal person who comes to collect will reduce significantly, because 60 to 65% of our household waste is kitchen scraps. It is peels. So our waste collector, there's this old man who used to come to collect waste. He suddenly got surprised when I had started composting that the bag, that big bag, it turned into a small one. And he was surprised that where is all the waste going. You need to choose a compost bin. I showed you, it could be a bucket, a garden pot, a normal dustbin. All you need is that some amount of air should go into it. It can be any kind of a bin. Drill around 4 to 5 holes around the container at different levels to let some air in. How can you drill? You can use, if the container is not very thick, a sharp needle, heat it and pierce through your container, or use a drill, the home drills that we have, since we've lived outside India. So we are used to doing all that on our own. So we have drilled. My husband has helped me drill those holes. Place a tray under your container to catch any oils or any spills or liquids that come out of it. If you are very finicky about it, that because some liquid will come. कुछ ना कुछ थोड़ा थोड़ा निकलेगा जब वो decompose होना शुरू होता है, because the kitchen scraps and the waste has a lot of moisture in it. Layer the bottom of the container with soil. Make sure whichever container you're using, the bottom part should have garden soil in it. It will ensure that you have less of the pest problem in it. You should maintain dry and wet waste balance by adding rotten fruit, scraps, peels, and dried waste like leaves and grass clippings in equal quantities, but at different levels. Ye dekhiye. Just take a look here. The greens and the browns have to be in the ratio of 1:1, equal. They have to be equal. If on some day you had more kitchen scraps, you need to have more leaves, more cocoa peat or microbial cocoa peat or shredded cardboard, so that you are balancing it out. Otherwise, your compost, the balance will not be right. That's just like a dish that we make. When we say that when we cook a dish and it has more salt in it, or sometimes it is more spicy. So it's about getting that balance right. Composting is just like cooking. Keep the pile wet, but not soggy, by adding little bit of water in dry weather. If the weather is really dry, you can just make your compost pile wet. So here I am talking about composting in a container because that's easy to manage. Turn the compost pile once a week. Hafte mein ek baar. You just have to do it once a week. Turn it with the help of, you can wear gloves if you are very particular that your hands shouldn't get dirty, and then use some kind of a tool. I usually use my garden tools and I turn the pile. You will get compost 4 to 6 months after starting it. It depends on the weather. In Kerala weather, you can get it faster. because heating helps the compost process. Here in Punjab right now, it's really cold, so it will take longer. And the finished compost will be dark, crumbly, and it will smell like earth. उसमें मिट्टी की खुशबू आएगी. It should smell like that. I will show you how it looks like, and I'll show you the process also a little bit now. I will be using a glass bowl because that's what will help you see the layers. And first, I want to show you the things that can go into the compost. You can see here. Just a second. Yes. Eggshells, crush them. They can go into your compost. Fruit peels, vegetable peels, cucumber peels, they can go into your compost. Flowers that have got dried or have rotten, the puja flowers also can go into your compost. Orange peels can go into your compost. This is the greens, the nitrogen-rich part of the compost. Now, these are the browns. Grass clippings. If you have a lawn, all your grass clippings can go into the compost. Kitchen towels or tissue papers, paper napkins can go into the compost. Shredded brown paper. It's just, you can do it with the hand or with scissors. If you have kids at home, engage them in doing this. Leaves, dried leaves, leaves from the trees, because here we had, this is the fall when a lot of leaves, the trees, they shed their leaves. So I collect them. Then this is cardboard. Cardboard helps absorb the excess moisture. This will also go into your compost. This part is the browns component of your compost. And this is how the compost looks like. You see, it is dark and it's not left, it doesn't leave anything on my hands. It's not like the soil, but it smells like soil. It has this moisture in it. It doesn't smell bad at all. This is ready. Now, some people sieve it. I don't sieve it. I let everything go into the soil. And there are some people who like to sieve it. They first put it in the sun for drying. I will show you the process now to just give you an idea. If some of you like Italian food, composting is like making lasagna. It's like you layer it. So like how in a lasagna you have the pasta sheets. So there is this layer with the tomatoes and then the pasta sheet and then maybe some meat, some cheese, and then again the sheet. It's just like that. If you have begun composting, you can layer your compost bin with some previous compost instead of the garden soil. So this is a base. So whenever you're making a compost, always ensure that you are not using all of that in your garden. Save some of it for the next batch. For making the next batch, it will become faster. After you've put this, make sure you layer with some grass clippings and twigs. This will help in drainage. Now this is the second layer of our lasagna. Then add some more peels. All kinds of peels. Make sure if you're putting, for instance, the watermelon just started rotting, or you have a papaya that is rotting, the size, you have to cut it first and make sure it's bite size before you put it in the compost bin. The compost bin will not work if you're putting the whole fruit in it. So after I have put the peels, I will ensure that I cover this with some browns so that fruit flies and other insects do not come and sit. Even though my bin is going to have a lid on it, but it's always nice to cover this layer of peels. If you want to accelerate, like fasten the process of composting, what you can do is you can use cow dung slurry. It's like the cow dung that is in the liquid form, the normal cow dung. It will increase your composting process. You can also use sour buttermilk. Just add a little bit of that and it will increase. There are also some other options, some organic options that are available. If you can everybody see the layers here?
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. There are also some options on Amazon where they are giving natural compost accelerators. And in the video also, you must have seen that I used a microbial cocoa peat. That also helps. It increases. Kindly mute yourself, everyone. I can hear somebody talk. Please stay muted. I will just start my screen sharing again and get back. Okay, so this is, yes. That's about the composting process. I have to talk about my channel as well. That's called Get My Harvest. And it's an initiative that I have taken so that I can spread some green ideas. And I started it during the lockdown. That's how it looks like. I have shared the link for the channel in the chat. If you're interested, please go take a look. If gardening and staying close to nature interests you, kindly mute yourself, everyone. Please mute कर लें अपने आप को.
हल्की लाइन आई है ओदी.
Cinda ma'am, can we mute everybody?
कल मैं सोचा भेज दिया मगर फिर
Yeah. Okay. So if you like it, please go subscribe and click on all so that you can get notified whenever I put a new video. I also have a YouTube community there where I ask questions or share ideas on how we can help our community. That's how the interface looks like on the channel. We have loads of videos on a variety of topics. If you are interested in making a butterfly garden, I have a video even on that and how we have had butterfly friends in the garden. Then this is my Instagram page. If you are on Instagram, please go check it out. I am more active on Instagram. There are updates every day on how what nature experiences I had. You can please go and follow Get My Harvest there and tell your friends about it as well, because as friends, I think we are supposed to share good ideas. Now, let's talk about this thing. What can you do? You have to start composting. You have to stop spreading and believing in the myths about composting. Composting के बारे में बहुत सी अफवाहें उड़ाई जाती हैं. There are loads of things that are said about composting. Composting से smell बहुत आती है. It's a waste. It's very difficult to do. बहुत expensive है. Manage करना मुश्किल है. No, that's all not true. Please don't do that. Don't believe and don't spread. Reduce your waste. Please buy only what is needed and reuse it. Repurpose your things, so that our waste footprint on the planet is lesser. Please work on spreading good ideas. It's very important. Instead of spending time with our friends, we have to remind ourselves about this thing, that instead of spending time with our friends and talking about somebody else, or we should be talking about good ideas. We should be talking about things we can do, or instead of cribbing, and leave a legacy for future generations. This is very important. Leaving gold, properties for future generations. Can they use it? If they can't breathe in the environment, can we breathe if we just close our nose? Can we breathe? No, we can't. So leave a legacy, grow trees. Our future generations will need them the most. And I wrote something. I'll just say those lines and then I will take questions and feedback. Our country needs dirtier fingernails and cleaner minds. Our country needs dirtier fingernails and cleaner minds. Trees, plants, shrubs, forests with creatures of all kinds. We must leave a legacy of beauty and life for our future generations. Legacy, matlab, I do not know what we would call it in Malayalam, but in Hindi, we would say virasat. So we should leave a legacy of beauty and life for our future generations. If you have decided to begin composting, please accept my congratulations. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Shetna, for a very nice session. And now we are moving on to the interactive session. You can unmute and ask questions to Shetna.
Yes, I would love to hear from you, your feedback, your suggestions. You are all senior and elders to me. I would love to improve and I would love to answer.
Yeah, Geetanjali, you can ask. You can see Geetanjali raising her hands.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm Geetanjali, Advocate Geetanjali Jatta from Thane, Maharashtra.
Hi, Geetanjali, ma'am.
Yeah, I have a very beautiful garden at 3 layers of my bungalow. Since many years I'm doing gardening and enjoying it a lot. So it's a stress buster for me. Gardening is I have one question. Weather here is very humid. Humidity is too much in Mumbai. So in rainy season, it is very much. So what to do in that season to do the compost, maintain the compost healthy? Because in rainy season, it go waste when I compost in rainy season here.
Geetanjali, first of all, if your compost bins are lying in an area where they are exposed to rain, you need to move them towards a shaded area. And then if you are concerned that the compost is too wet because of humidity and everything, you have to increase your browns, that is the dry things, like I said, the shredded cardboard, the paper, the cocoa peat or the microbial cocoa peat more. So make it, instead of 1:1, you can also make it 1:2, like 2:1. Up दो जो हिस्से हैं, please add browns and add 1 part of green. That will manage the humidity season very well.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'll try it.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
Yeah, Chedana, you showed us from the first stage to the second stage. How long does it take for the compost to reach from the first stage to the second stage?
Around a month. Around a month, yes. It depends on the weather, but see, in Kerala, it would, the video was shot in summers in Punjab. So just like how the summers in Punjab are similar to the ones in Kerala. So in summers, it is faster, but now in winters, it takes double the time.
Okay. And like you told us, no, that we could add the grass clippings. Do we have to dry them or can we add it straight?
If you're adding them straight, then they are not the brown matter. They are as good as your kitchen scraps. They are the peels. If you dry them and add, then they are the browns. So you can add them straight, but then they will not make up the brown matter. You will still need a layer of dried leaves or shredded paper.
Okay, thank
you.
Is it there any particular fruit or vegetable should not go for composting?
No, you can add everything to it.
What about lime?
Yes, you can. There are some people who say that you shouldn't add, but
there are some myths. This fruit should not go lime and papaya.
Everything goes into it.
That's good. I was not even aware about cardboards. Now I'll put that also.
Yes, you can. All the Amazon parcel cardboard can go into it, and but non-vegetarian, I mean, the waste that cannot go in home composting because it requires very high temperature. The bones, you need to become an expert first at that.
That I don't put.
Yes, and then with the bones, it requires a different aspect completely.
So you don't add non-vegetarian waste to this, sir?
Yes.
No.
The eggshells go, but not this bones.
I
These
want to
bones do
share
not go.
one idea.
Yes,
What I have tried, I have used earthen pots, and compost get very much good ready
In that.
earthen
Matkas you can use.
results of
Yes.
matka are very good, right?
Perfect. Yes, yes, Gitanjali ji.
And
That's
does it
right.
make it faster, Gitanjali?
No, same duration is the same, but it is good in earthen pot. You need not to see every time like in other pots. That is what I have experienced.
Thank you.
Thank you to everybody who's writing in the chat. I can read your comments, and thank you for taking our time to write. You can also talk to me.
I have one
Hello.
query. I'm Sonika
Hello.
here from District
Hel-
307.
Hi,
Chetna,
Sonika.
it's very nice you have told us about the good compost, the organic compost. Is it capable of killing the unwanted moths and the insects which spoil the whole harvest, of good plants?
Yes. Compost, that is why I said has superpowers. Compost can not only repel, not kill, but repel, because it's not a chemical. So slowly and steadily, you will observe that the pests and the harmful insects in your garden will reduce. They don't like the compost, and compost has the ability even to filter the harmful chemicals that can enter our water systems. So it has these special magic powers.
Okay, thank you, Chetna.
Can we add? Hello, Chetna. Hello, Chetna. Can we add lassi or dahi?
Yes,
Yogurt?
we can. उसको खट्टा करके बाहर रख के please keep it outside for some time, and then you can add. But make sure that you are adding it only in the quantity as based on how much compost is already there, how much of material is there in your pot. If you're adding a full glass and your pot has very little peels or leaves, then it will all start dripping out and the proportion will go off balance. They say how when we make a curry or when we make some kind of a curd dish down south, for instance, even curd rice. So the curd and the rice has to be in some proportion. In curry also, you cannot add a lot of curd. Depends on how many people you're cooking for. The same method use kijiye.
So does the curd accelerate composting?
If it is sour.
If it is sour, okay.
Yes.
And how long we have to keep that pot after when the pot get fully means
fulfilled.
I have heard that
Pot is fulfilled.
we have to keep it like
3 weeks. I think 3 weeks minimum.
Some days we have to keep it closing.
After you have reached the limit of filling it?
Yeah.
Yes. It will depend on the weather. If it is hot, 3 weeks. If it is very cold, it can take around 2 months. You have to check. You have to turn the pile. Turning the pile makes sure that your composting process becomes faster.
Thank you so much. It was a lovely session. Very nice.
Thank you, Chetna, we start turning the pile only after it's completely filled, right?
Yes.
I have one question. I have a lot of puja flowers. So should I mix it with fruits and vegetable peels, or should I keep a separate beans for puja flowers? And what should be the proportion?
Ma'am, puja flowers will be considered as peels. Okay, so they go into your greens. If you are very particular that your puja flowers should not get mixed with eggshells, if you are an vegetarian, then you can have a separate bin for puja flowers, leaves, and have a different composter. Otherwise, you can add it to the same composter. Just like how you have your onion peels, cucumber peels, puja flowers will go into that bowl and they will be considered the green part of your compost. Then you have to get some dried leaves, cocoa peat, shredded paper, and ensure the brown part is there.
My question is that puja flowers generally get compost easily. That's why I am asking that it will be composted easily, so that I can keep it a separate bin for composting bin for that.
You can do that, ma'am. You can do that, but then again in that composting bin, you can't just have flowers. You will have to add leaves to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question. Initially, you added some soil, no, some manure and all. What is there any particular thing that we shouldn't use and all?
Ma'am, that was what is your name, ma'am?
Anita Natarajan, District Secretary.
Okay, Anita, ma'am. It was my homemade compost. The compost that was ready, I added that layer, and you can add normal garden soil also. It is just the base, but this compost, if I add, it increases the space of my process, because it's like a familiar thing for the bin. So when it gets that, it helps.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do we have
Any
anybody
more
else
questions?
wanting to say hi?
In
Hello.
dry leaves, which are preferable? A small one or a bigger one also okay for using?
Yes, that's a good question, ma'am. If you saw in the video, my son was jumping on a sack. So those leaves were big ones. So I had collected all of them in a sack. So if you have kids, grandkids around,
Crush
or
them and
crush them. You cannot add very big leaves. Make sure they are, again, I said like bite size. Fruits, vegetables, leaves cannot be bigger than this.
And ये मटार के छिलके भी बहुत सारे रहते हैं, तो उसको क्या करना, बहुत सारा जगह ऑक्युपाई कर लेता है
मैम, अगर उसका सूप भी बनता है सर्दियों में, तो हम यहाँ पे पीते हैं, we make a soup out of that. But if you don't want to do that, you can add the same. They can go to the compost bin very well.
So we have to dry it first and
no,
then.
No. They are your green matter. If they are wet, you have to ensure you have dry things in the compost. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Any more questions?
You said that holes should be made, no, for the container, for the aeration. Is there any particular places where the holes to be made, or anywhere randomly?
No, randomly you can make holes, but at different levels. So that if one hole gets clogged, you have other options there. And then after one compost cycle or two compost cycles, make sure you clean the bin thoroughly, so that you can the holes are not clogged there.
Thank you.
Any more queries?
I can also
Vedana,
take
can you go through the
feedback,
chats
advice.
and see whether there's any query over there?
Okay, let me check. I can there are people wishing.
Mostly it is very useful information.
Yes, I can see loads of good feedback. Thank you. Jyoti Ved has sent that. I have shared the links for the page and the channel. There is Geera Garg who has said, Kavita Uppal, she wants me to come to Phagwara and give a live presentation. I would love to do that.
Somebody has asked you to share the recording of the session also to her email ID.
I will do that, Jyoti. I have noted down the email ID, Jyoti Agarwal. I would do that. And
that's it.
Yes, when the pandemic ends, I would love to come to Phagwara. Thank you for
Hello.
everybody's feedback.
Can I make a question?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
This is Sumita Som from District 324.
Hi, Smita.
Smita, welcome,
Smita. Association Secretary.
First of all, I would like to thank for giving me a chance to listen to such a lady, because I have been doing this for many years. I have a big garden, rooftop garden, but I have got some very good ideas from her. Thank you so much. I have one question. like what I mostly do that peels of fruits, I mix in the mixie, and then I make a liquid, and I pour it in the garden. So I would like to ask one question, whether this is right or I shouldn't do that.
It's not about right or wrong. It depends in which area of the garden. Do you then also cover it with soil?
No, I directly put it, I just make a very, I put, let's say, 1/20th of the part. I use that liquid with the water, and I pour it in the
Okay.
She dilutes,
and I have been doing it.
Grinds everything.
And has it worked for you, ma'am? Has it? I haven't heard of
Yeah,
this
it
before.
has worked for me.
And no pest problem, no bird issues. Everything has worked well.
No, I do not have any such problem. I use cow dung also. So I make a very light liquid manure of cow dung. And with that, I add those little bit, say 1/20th part. And I use those.
Thank you for sharing that, because I have heard about this for the first time. My logic just tells me that it will just take a little longer for that slurry that you make to decompose and to give it benefit. But see, when we compost, ma'am, when we use a compost bin, what happens is those things, they undergo an aerobic process, which means the gases are not released. But when you're adding that slurry openly, it's just like a landfill, but maybe better because आपका माली आके गोदी करता होगा. I'm sure the gardener comes and loosens the soil. So it's better than a landfill, but it cannot be as good as a compost. I'm glad it has worked for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us such good information.
Thank you for your time, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else wanting to say a hello, wanting to give me feedback? I will need all your blessings and love and suggestions. Wanting to scold me a little bit about something, I would be happy to get that as well.
I think all are satisfied, Chetna. But wonderful session you have given. So wonderful tips. We must follow. All of you, please start composting.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad, Winnie auntie.
Especially you.
Hi, Kavita ji.
Yeah, hello. So nice to see my
friends. Nice to see you all.
After such a long time.
Such a long time. Yes, pandemic has again bound us.
Yeah.
Looks like everyone is clear of their doubts.
Yeah, I think so, Cinda. Thank
you so much, Chepna. We'll move on to the next section.
Okay. Now the feedback will be given by PDC Anita Bala from District 307. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, District Secretary Anita ji, District 321. Good evening, dear Innerville sisters. Mrs. Cinda Jojy, District Chairman, Innerville District 321. Mrs. Guninder Kaur, Innerville District 307. District Executive Committee of both the sessions, of both the districts, past Association Secretary, and my batchmate, Sumita Som. Thank you all. Thank you, Innerville sisters and members of all the two districts for attending. Our PDCs are also attending. I'm not mentioning name of all the executive members, but in 307, number of district executive members are also attending. About 3 to 1, since I don't know their names, I'm not, but thank you all for attending this session. It's a good effort as far Innerville is concerned, because when we join Innerville, first thing we come to know fellowship and friendship. And today we have proved this idea. And I know President of Innerville Club Pathnam Theta, Dr. Millie, and my daughter's mother, Mrs. Rita Mehta, they are from same club, she's past president. And I think Chetna just forced them to initiate this session. And both the districts, we are happy. We have joined hands in doing all this. Then, but in Innerville, because we believe in fellowship and friendship, it was a very interactive session and it's need of the hour. Why I say need of an hour? Because 3 things we need to remember. She has told in her talk, that is waste food, methane gas, and 20 years. If we will waste our food, we will waste 20 years because we will produce methane gas and we will not leave a legacy for the future generation. And we have to, being in Innerville, we have to take care of our environment. Because if we will take care of the environment and by compost only, we can save motherland. If we will save our mother earth, no garbage, and automatically we all will lead healthy life. Then I was not having any idea of this workshop because I was not keeping well and we were not in touch with Chetna. But only when Winnie put the link, I came to know suffering from viral. I have not discussed anything till now with Winnie. I was surprised to see. And after that, she shared with me the agenda also. And I'm proud that through Innerville only, District 3 to 1. Today I was on leave from the school. Friends, I'm part of Bharti Vidya Bhavan. I'm a director in Bhavan's branches in Amritsar. Here, due to very chilly weather also, everybody is suffering one or the other thing. And I'm proud of my daughter, and especially since she's concerned with the environment, again I repeat, we think that only people who are having big lawns, big area, they can grow plants, they can do composting. I have to tell, it's too dark now, otherwise I should have shown you the types of plants and the vegetables I have grown on the 2nd floor of my house.
Everybody can see that on my Instagram page. I have my mother's garden videos and everything.
I have seen.
And so thank you for joining. But don't leave this idea at Zoom only. Please implement. And after 3-4 months, we can arrange another session and we will show our compost to Chetna on Zoom that we have also done something. And this will be, we can say, a joint project of District 307 and 321 and the members who have joined from the other districts also. And thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you, Cinda Jojy. Thank you, Dr. Millie. Thank you, District Secretary Anita. And thank you, my friend Winnie. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Anita.
Thank you. That is a good idea put up by PDC Anita Bella. Maybe during the International Compost Aware Week, May 1st week, let's join and show the compost we have done.
Yes, and Cinda Didi, you have to see how you can involve me in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Zarur.
आपके बिना नहीं होगा चेतना.
नहीं, thank you. My mother-in-law hasn't spoken anything. I would love her
and
to.
remember, friends,
please.
Remember, friends, you all are didis. So you all are didis, not aunties.
Didi kaho na.
हाँ जी मम्मी कैसा लगा? How are you?
Hi Rita.
Unmute
Can you
yourself.
say something?
Mummy, touch your mic.
Rita, please unmute yourself. Please
नीचे
unmute yourself.
Left side पे you will see a mic. Just touch it. उसको click करो. If Papa is there, he can do that for her. Papa, आप नहीं तो खुद unmute कर लो अपने आप को.
उस पे म्यूट लिखा हुआ अनम्यूट लिखा आ रहा है, आप उसको टच कर दो.
Host can do that.
No, host cannot do that. I
She
don't know
herself
if,
can.
okay, I think
Aage, Papa is going to do. Kar diya.
Now we have very reluctantly come to the end of the program after a very interesting session. Now the official vote of thanks will be given by Dr. Valsa Kenny from Innovate Club of Patanathittu, the host club. Valsa?
Yeah. It is my privilege. Shall I talk?
Yeah.
Yes, Valsa auntie. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of all those who work to make this Zoom meeting possible. On behalf of Innovate, I extend a hearty vote of thanks to Mrs. Chetna Balla, the daughter-in-law of our Silver Jubilee President, Mrs. Rita Mehta. Chetna, your talk has enlightened our minds. Today, we've got a lot of information about composting, which will truly help us in gardening and making a green earth. And even an event like this cannot happen overnight. I thank our district chairman, Mrs. Cinda Jojy, who planned this meeting with a bird's eye vision. I thank all members, the galaxy of past district chairmen of 321 and 307, guests and friends from other districts. We thank all the speakers, GB, Guninder Kaur, Dr. Mili, PDC Anita Balla, who has added to the glory of this meeting. We thank all the Innovate members for being with us and making the meeting a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, Valsa auntie. I'm so happy to see you. And it's been long, I know. And I would request everybody to turn on their cameras. Hello, Neera, Kripal auntie, I just saw you. Please turn on your cameras so that I can take a picture of everyone who's present. And this will be a memory for us. So I'm giving you a little bit of time to turn on your cameras and I'll do the gallery view. You all look very beautiful because beauty comes, yes, from experience and from all the love that you show.
Yeah, hi Chetna.
Hello.
I'm Rajni Katia from District 309.
Hi Rajni ji.
Hello
Hello
Rajni.
ji. Hello Guninder ji. Hello Nita Didi.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi,
Thank you so much.
Chetna,
Rajni is my batchmate.
Hi, Rajni.
Hello
Nice
Didi.
to see
How
you
are
after
you?
so many days, after years.
Yes. Hi Sumita.
Hi.
Hi Sumita.
Hi.
Chetna, it was
it's so nice to see everyone.
Yes, Rajni, you were trying to say
it was
something?
a nice, very informative, very enriching, enlightening session. And
Thank
we
you.
will definitely.
I think we lost her somewhere.
Now Rita is unmuted.
Rita, would you like to say something?
हाँ जी मम्मी आप अनम्यूट पे हो मम्मी आप बोल सकते हो हाँ जी कैसा रहा
Very informative talk, very informative. Thank you so much. I am proud of you.
Yeah,
thank you. I wanted to hear
Very
that.
nice.
I wanted to hear
Very
that.
nice.
मेरा session पूरा नहीं होना था.
Session पूरा नहीं होना था ना. Yes.
Really, very nice. Very nice.
Both mamas should speak.
Oh yes, it's that like how I said, ये memory जो है, this will go into my heart.
Yeah,
That's
Chetna is
why
very
Cinda
lucky
asked
to
me
have
who
both
will
moms.
give the feedback. That's why I told her कि Anita ji will give the feedback.
Thank you for doing that. Okay, now again, Valsa aunty, your camera's off. Please, everybody, turn your cameras on so that I can take pictures.
Thanks a lot.
We'll just okay. We still have loads of not wanting to on them. That's fine. I've taken the pictures. Cinda, Didi, you can proceed with how you want to.
Yeah. So thank you, Chaitana, and thank you everybody from District 307 as well as 321 for being here and making this meeting a grand success. Chaitana, with your bubbly nature, I think you have really inculcated what you wanted to say. So I'm sure that there are going to be many who are going to start this composting and be good gardeners very soon. So we are all waiting to see that during our session.
Thank you, everybody, for being such good listeners.
Thank you.
I have made good friends. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cinda. Thank you so much. And all the members who have joined.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the PDCs, thank you. Hi.
Hi.
Mrs. Narang, welcome.
Very nice to meet you.
Good to see you all.
Very impressive, really.
Thank you so much. You all have enjoyed and got some new tips for composting.
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Start immediately, right?
Right, ma'am.
You can still say your hi hellos to each other because you can't meet physically. So I will
just
keep
hi
myself
Chaitana.
on mute. Hello.
Chaitana, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm Rajni Katia once again, and मेरा थोड़ा सा चार्ज की प्रॉब्लम हो गई थी
और आप बोल रही
थी मैं यही कहना चाह रही थी मैंने कहा बहुत अच्छा आप कर रहे हो एंड जो इनर व्हील का मोटिव है वो यही है कि एनवायरनमेंट को हम हाउ कैन वी सेव इट सो दिस इज द वेरी लाइक बहुत अच्छा स्टेप है जो हम लोग इसके लिए तो हमें करना चाहिए मुझे लगता है हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में ऐसा एक सेशन होना चाहिए आपका कि ताकि सारे इनर व्हील मेंबर्स अवेयर हो सके और डेफिनेटली आई विल लाइक ऑर्गेनाइज कुछ ऐसा सेशन आपके साथ हम करेंगे नेक्स्ट जो नेक्स्ट मंथ में
आई वुड लव टू आप आई एम ऑलवेज रेडी जो लोग मुझे जानते हैं उनको पता है दैट आई एम ऑलवेज रेडी एंड आई गिव माय 200% टू इट सो थैंक यू आई विल वेट फॉर योर
यू आर लविंग बेबी चेतना गॉड ब्लेस यू
ओके बेस्ट ऑफ लक
Thank you.
All the best. Stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe.
Take care of your health.
So, hopefully, we'll all meet.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Let's hope so.
So can we end the meeting?
Goes well.